Okay, so anyhow, there you're in your life there.
Yeah.
You basically you don't do shit for free. You charge for everything where possible.
Well, in
that context,
but not excessively. You know,
No, I mean you have you know
people want professional advice.
they got to pay.
Yeah,
That's okay. I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just telling
because
you don't need friends.
yeah,
Friends are freeloaders, aren't they?
well, back to you give them advice, and it's wrong. What happens? They sue you.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah. You know, they ask a delicate question,
Sure.
and you give them inadvertently a wrong advice, then they take legal action against you. Now, is that a friend? You know, a friend is and I know cases that's happened to other people.
Well, that happened to that lawyer, didn't it?
A lawyer, that's right.
Lawyer friend.
He gave
got
advice to his friend at his barbecue, and he got sued by the friend. Now,
and what happened in the end?
So therefore,
but the advice he gave, the problem wasn't a legal problem. That was a taxation issue.
Well, he's a lawyer. He should know.
But he's not a taxation.
He's not a tax lawyer. No, he gave.
That's like me going to you asking you advice, and then I sue you because I've had fucking heart trouble.
Yeah.
Isn't it or not?
Well,
did he take it to court or what? What happened?
Yeah.
And he lost.
No. He took action against him, and he had to get. He was paid out by the professional indemnity insurance of the lawyer.
Okay, but why didn't they fight it then?
Well, because the lawyer was wrong. He gave wrong advice.
About the tax liability?
Yeah.
But how was he supposed to cover the tax liability? Was the question asked?
Well, he asked him a question, and he said, "Well, look, this is the answer." And a person would assume that a lawyer would either know the answer or would find out the answer before he gives advice like that.
Sure.
And really, what you should do, I suppose, is not give advice.
No.
And it's like my brother, like he sees somebody, he's a doctor, and somebody's on the street dying.
Sure.
He says, "Let's walk away." I said, "Well, why? The guy's dying." He said, "Because the bugger will sue me. You know, I'll do something wrong, and then they take out legal action against you." That's what's happening.
Sure.
You know, so you try and help, save his life, and he'll say, you know, and you know, when he's dying, I mean, you don't really know what's wrong with him. You can't do 30 tests while he's bleeding on the footpath there. And
don't want to get involved.
And he'll then start taking legal action against you. You did this wrong, that wrong. You didn't do that. You should have done that.
And fuck off and let the fucker die.
Well, yeah.
Some
you ring the ambulance, and the ambulance comes, and
they take care of this.
They're trained to offer first aid, and if the person dies, he dies. But you know, see, everybody's grateful if you do something and it's right. They're very grateful. They say thanks very much. You know. But when you do something and it fails, they die or something goes wrong, then they get very nasty, and then they take action against you. And so that's the danger of giving professional advice. You know, if you're a professional, you're supposed to know better than the average person. If you ask an accounting question or legal question to the local labourer who's there digging away on the, that's okay. He'll tell you, yeah, look, you can do that, yeah. Well, if it's wrong, you know, you don't ask a labourer technical questions about tax or law or divorce or whatever. So, you know, if you're stupid enough to do that, well, that's what you got. But if you ask an accountant or a lawyer or another professional person a professional question and it's wrong, well, he's then liable. So that's a problem.
He can be liable.
Well, he can be liable.
I mean, he's got a chance to defend it. Well, he doesn't have to be a fucking pansy and just give up and say, "Oh yeah, you ran away."
No. But
he said, "Well, come after me."
No. You have to sue you.
You think I'm wrong?
Yeah.
You take steps to issue the summons and. And some of these guys are pussies. They need a fucking backbone, you know.
I remember, like, going about this professional stuff. I remember one of my clients. You know, I sent him a bill.
Sure.
Say it was $500 for some work, and he decided, no, he wasn't going to pay it. So he took action against me.
Yeah.
Through the court. And so I thought, rightio, well, let's meet in court. So I turned up at court.
Yeah.
And the magistrate said to him, "Well, what's your problem?" He said, "Well, I saw this gentleman for taxation, and he did my return, and he said I had to pay $1,000 to the tax department. I went to another accountant, and I'm getting $1,000 back.
Sure.
And the magistrate said, yeah, so what's your case? So he repeated the story.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I heard that. Well, so what's your case? He said, well, he was wrong. I got $1,000 back, and this guy telling me I got to pay $1,000.
Yeah.
And he said, well, so you're a professional, you're an accountant, you know about tax. He said, no. He said, well, what's your case? He said, well, I told you, I'm a refund. And he said, well, look, the magistrate got very upset. He said, listen, you're not an accountant. You don't know what you're talking about. You probably went to this guy, this gentleman. You got the wrong answer. So you went and cooked your books. And now you're getting a big refund. So the tax department should be investigating you. How come? Why did you cook the books? You're the one in trouble. And he said, and if you want to take action against Mr. Pluter, you better get another accountant to look at what the advice is and then say why it was wrong. You can't just say, I don't feel it's right, I feel it's wrong.
Sure.
The court doesn't work on feelings, it works on facts. So he threw the guy out.
Is that right?
Yeah, just threw it out.
He paid the bill then?
And I didn't say one word.
He paid the bill?
He paid the bill.
The
He wasn't going to, he asked extra time. So, yep, he wanted time, and then he rang up and said, I'll give you 400 instead of 500. And I said, no, I'll see you in court. So
is that right? You didn't let it go?
Well, he wanted to pay me less. Anyway, on the day before the thing, I got the Black Thunder couriers arrived, knocking on the door, pounding at the door with a bank check.
I see.
Paid in full.
Far out.
And but that's it's sort of a lot of people. There's two standards. There's the average guy on the street. He can say anything, and there's a professional person. If he gives advice or says something, he's liable by stupid statements. He has to take care in giving that advice, and therefore, even like you got your viewers, you go out for dinner, all right. So then they ask you a question. Well,
sure.
If they ask us a very simple question, well, what's the point in having dinner anyway? He knows
Sure.
the answer. But if it's a more involved question, well then that means you need to get the true facts. And in fact, it's not just a question of saying what's the facts. You say, let me look at the documents. Because I had a case, a lawyer wrote in on behalf of the client saying, please confirm no capital gains tax is payable. And we said, well, why do you want to do that? Well, he said, well, look, it's just simple. You just confirm. And I thought, no, let's have a few more facts. Well, you got a few facts. This property, there were 6 units. One was they used for themselves. The other 5 were rented. Well, that's not tax-free. The one they're living in might be, but the other 5 are subject to capital gains tax. And they wanted me to say, yeah, it's right. I would say, yeah, it's right, because I like the lot solicitor. Yeah, it's right. And next minute, I'm going to sell my house, or there's an insurance claim on me because I was flippant. I didn't take care in giving the advice, and that's what happens. You've got to be very careful in giving people advice.
Sure, people are cunts, aren't they?
So, like
people are cunts,
if they take you to
people are cunts, aren't they? A lot of people can be cunts.
Well, I'll put it like that. The people, first of all, they don't realise what the consequences are and what the facts are. What they want you to do is confirm their feelings, and
sure.
When you say that's not the case, they get upset. And so if that's what you got to do, you normally they got to pay in advance, and then they get the answer. It's like a valuation of a house, and this is what valuers do. You got to evaluate. You say, can you value my house? And you're expecting $1 million, and he comes in with 800. You say, I'm not paying you. I don't like that valuation. Well, what the valuers do, they don't do it that way. They say, right, yeah, I'm doing the valuation in your house. That costs $600. Let's have the 600. Oh, look, I'll pay later. No. You give me the 600, then I'll do the valuation.
Sure.
And then once you've got the money, he gives you independent valuation. Oh, it's not worth $1 million. It's actually worth 700,000.
Sure.
Well, you pay the money. That's his view, and that's it. Because he doesn't want to be arguing with you, saying, you want an independent valuation, you got the independent valuation. That's his view, his professional view. And if you don't agree, that's your bad luck.
Yes.
And it's the same as a lot of these advice things that we're talking about. People want a certain answer. When they don't get the answer, they get upset. But that's not my problem, that's their problem. and then they don't want to pay or don't want to. And really, dinners. You know, if you go out to somebody to have a dinner, well, what's the point of a dinner? You know, sure. The dinner's not going to pay your rate bills or pay your petrol for the car. What you want is dollars, you know.
Sure. Well, I don't want anything for fucking free. I'll settle for anything.
You want Australian? No, well, food. Well, you know, you're otherwise anyway. You really need to be on a diet. So it's no good going for dinners. What we really need is be, dollars, and they need to. They want professional advice, professional answer, a thought out answer. They want to really talk about it. Well, that costs money. And then of course when a lot of them they don't want to listen and they don't want to do the hard yards. You know, sure. in that book I wrote, it's only a small book, but
which no one's fucking bought a copy anyhow. How many you sold?
Well, I haven't looked yet.
It's not fucking many.
I'm expecting a couple of hundred.
Fucking cunts. There's more cunts out there that don't buy anything.
Well, that's probably they should buy the book and join our club. If they join our club, we can then give them a bit more advice, provided they got the book. We can say,
sure.
Page 7, that's your answer, or something like that. But if they haven't got the book, well, they won't know what's on page 7.
No, but, there's some nasty fuckers out there.
Why do you want to give free advice? Why do you want to give free professional advice, which took many years to acquire, to somebody who doesn't appreciate it?
No, I fucking agree with you. That's the way I see it as well.